7 chilling horror stories to listen to while you melt in the summer heat. Help me. It is the kind of heat that makes the air look wavy. The kind that presses on your chest like a heavy hand. Sweat crawls down your back even when you stand still. Your water is warm. Your shadow feels too close. If you are going to listen, do it now while the fan spins and the glass clicks and the night tries to cool but fails. If you hear the words "help me" inside any of these stories, do not answer. Not out loud. 1. The fan that counts you bought a cheap plastic fan because the heat would not leave your room. It rattles and squeaks but moves the air just enough to keep you sane. The first night you notice something odd. Every time the blade passes the bent safety grill, it ticks soft, regular, tick, tick, tick. You think it is nothing until the ticks begin to group. 9 ticks, pause. 8 ticks, pause. 7 ticks, pause. 7 ticks, pause. You sit up. The fan is counting down. The room is too hot to switch it off. You watch, breathing through your mouth. 6 ticks, 5, 4. You tell yourself it is a trick your tired brain made. The way-road noise becomes music when you are about to fall asleep. 3, 2. The last pause is long. You lean closer, eyes stinging from sweat. 1. A soft knock answers. From the closet door, you freeze. The fan keeps turning. Then the countdown starts again. 9, 8, 7 only. This time it stops on the number of your apartment. And when it reaches it, the closet knocks twice. You drag a chair under the handle and sit there until sunrise. When morning comes, you unplug the fan, wrap the cord around it, and carry it outside to the alley. But as you turn away, the blades spin once more, the plastic whispering, tick. And from the dark slot of the closet now, behind you comes a voice as thin as heat shimmer. Help me. To the ice cream truck after midnight. Everyone knows ice cream trucks do not run after sunset. But the heat wave is cruel, and at 12:40 a.m., you hear the melody float through the empty street suite, slow and wrong. It sounds like a nursery song played backward. You open the window to catch a breeze, and the tune bends like it is smelling. For you, you go outside because you are stupid, or thirsty, or both. The truck rolls through a pool of yellow streetlights. The paint is perfect. The stickers show smiling popsicles with eyes. The serving window is open, but you cannot see the driver's face, only cold mist rolling out like breath on a winter day. What will you have? The driver asks. The voice is a warm whisper, like a blanket. You give the name of your childhood favorite without thinking. The hand that passes your treat is gloved. The frost bites your fingers. You take a bite and stop. Inside the popsicle, set like a bug in amber, is a small plastic charm shaped like a face. Not any face. Your face. You drop the stick. The driver clicks his tongue. Tisk, wasteful. Someone else will take it. The next morning, a poster appears on the light pole. Missing, a little boy you have never met, smiling with sticky hands. The photo looks familiar. In the reflection on the truck window last night, there was a small figure behind the driver, fogging the glass. The heat rises so hard that the letters blur, and under your breath, you swear you can hear that soft tune again. If you listen close, it says, "Help me." 3. The pool that evaporated. Noon, the sun punches the public pool like a fist. The lifeguard's chair burns the back of your legs. Kids shout. The water flashes like broken glass. You are not on duty. You just came to cool your head. But when the whistles blow, you stand because someone has to look. A boy dives. He does not come up. You count. You hear the training in your skull. 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 then. 5 more kids jump in to help the friend who has not surfaced. The water level drops, not by splash, not by drain. It drops the way sweat leaves skin. In seconds, the blue line creeps down the tiles. The smell changes to it, goes from chlorine to something sweet and stale, like breath trapped in a plastic bag. The kids pop up one by one, confused, coughing. Where'd he go? They cry. You scan the bottom. You see no body. You see white. Handprints pressed to the angles where the floor meets the wall, as if placed from the other side of the tiles. Someone screams. The pool is shrinking in front of everyone. You rush down the ladder and put your foot in the water as cold as the inside of a freezer. Colder, your skin burns with it. You snatch your foot back. The drop stops. The handprints fade later, when the sun finally stops beating the concrete. You return alone. You lean over the steel rail and listen. There is no splash. There is only a sound like breath echoing up a strand, a small, underwater voice, as thin as frost. Help me. For sunstroke shadow, on the hottest day of the year, your boss makes. You walk 3 miles to pick up documents, because the courier can't take the heat. The sun hits your skull with a hammer. By the time you stagger back to the office, everything is too bright. You drink, you sweat, you sit. You laugh with the others about sunstroke until you stand to leave and see it. Your shadow is late when you move. It waits a heartbeat before it follows. 1 second, then 2. By the time you reach home, it is 3 seconds behind you, and it does not match your shape anymore. It is thinner, stretched, its head tilted, like it is listening. At night, you lock the door and lie on the floor. The power flickers. The heat swells. You hear a sound like water running, but the tap is off. You roll over and see your shadow. Slide under the door, pressing through the crack like smoke. It crawls to the freezer and lays itself against the frost. Its edges tremble with pleasure. You open the freezer and hold out an ice cube. The shadow leans up and takes it, and when it touches your palm, your skin goes numb. It leaves dark wet prints on the tiles as it goes back to the door. When morning comes, the sun is already fierce. You step outside and look. The sidewalk is full of people, but none of them have shadows. They are all gathered somewhere else, pooling, whispering with one long mouth. You feel your feet on fire and hear, from below the concrete, a tired breath. Help me. 5. The air conditioner, that bargain drawer window AC, is old and mean. It rattles. It kills your electric bill. But it is the only thing that lets you sleep. On the 3rd night of the heatwave, it will not turn on. You beg it, slap the case, pray. The compressor coughs. Then there is a voice in the vent, a dry paper whisper deep inside the throat of the machine. Name, it says. What name? It repeats. Give me a name. You think you are delirious. You laugh, then stop, because the air blowing from the vent grows cooler when you think of one specific person, and warmer when you stop. You do not want to say it. You do not want to believe this is happening. You last 15 minutes before. The sweat makes a river down your spine. At last you whisper a name you hate. A man who hurt you once, long ago. The air floods your room. It is heaven. It is winter. You sleep for the first time in days. In the morning, the news says a man collapsed in his apartment during the night and could not be revived. The camera shows a stretcher. The name scrolls across the bottom of the screen. It is the one you gave. You unplug the unit with shaking hands. You tape the vent shut. That night the heat is unbearable, and from behind the tape there is frost and a breath, like a lullaby your mother sang when you were small. Another, the voice whispers, soft as a snowflake. The tape is wet, and the droplets freeze into letters that spell, help me. 6. The sunburn map. You promised yourself you would apply sunscreen. The heat made you careless. By late afternoon, your skin is the color of raw meat, and your reflection looks like someone else. At midnight you wake with an itch that goes past skin, deep into bone. In the mirror you see not just redness, but shapes, pale patterns, rising in blisters, and lines. At first they are random. Then you realize they match your town. There is the river. There is the highway. There is the small crooked park outside your building where people cut across to save a minute of walking. One blister pulses on a corner, you know. You go there, shirt sticking to your back. In the heat haze, you see the aftershadow of a car crash that happened earlier that week. Light scraped on asphalt, a stain too dark to be oil. Another blister beats on your shoulder. You follow it to the grocery store. Inside, the frozen aisle is warm. A freezer door fogs with breath from the inside, and in it, a fingernail scratches letters you refuse to read. The last blister swells over your heart. You follow it home. Your apartment is a furnace. On the table, there is a photograph you do not own. You, standing at the window, taken from the street last night. Your skin crawls. You peel off your shirt, and as you do, the map on your chest lifts with it, skin and all, paper thin. It rises on a wave of hot air and sticks to the ceiling, where it throbs like an organ and whispers, in a voice you know is your own, help me. 7. The Heatwave siren. The city installs sirens for the heat, like for storms. They test them every day at 3:33 p.m. The sound is a long cry that makes the hairs on your arms stand up. People say the tone changes when the temperature goes above 43 degrees Celsius, that you can hear words inside it if you listen with your teeth. On the worst day, the siren wails and you feel it in your bones. You record it on your phone. That night you play it back and reverse it. Under the sound there is a voice, like someone locked in a freezer. It repeats numbers, coordinates and one phrase, help me. You cannot leave it alone. At dawn, you follow the coordinates to the dried canal at the edge of town. The mud is cracked like old paint. In the center is a metal hatch the size of a refrigerator door, rimmed with frost that does not melt in the sun. You touch the ice and your finger sticks. You pull away skin. You open the hatch because you are burning, and also because you are the kind of person who opens doors. Air sighs out like a satisfied beast. Stairs go down into cold fog. You descend, teeth chattering while sweat still runs down your back because the heat refuses to leave you. The tunnel is lined with fancy hundreds, thousands turning without power, blowing air toward a glass chamber at the end. Inside the glass is a woman wrapped in blankets, lips blue, eyes open. She is the voice in the siren. She writes on the frost with a trembling finger, "Do not let me thaw." Behind you, something creaks. You turn. The hatch at the top is closing. By itself, sunlight shrinks to a blade. The fans slow. The air warms. The ice on the walls starts to cry. You slap the glass. What is this? Who are you? Her breath fogs the letters as she wipes and writes again. It is not heat outside. It is a mouth IT feeds when I sleep. The hatch seals shut. In the sudden dark, the siren begins far above your head, echoing down the tunnel. The fans sputter. The glass hums. The frost on it cracks like a smile. The woman looks past you, over your shoulder, as if someone is standing there. You do not turn, because you can feel warm breath on your neck and the space smelling like sunburnt plastic and sweet milk turned sour. The woman's lips form two words you have heard all week, every night, under every sound. This time you understand they are not a plea. They are a command. Help me. The glass fractures. The fans stop. The tunnel swallows the last cold breath. Above, the city's siren changes pitch, and in apartments stuck with heat and tape, in rooms with late shadows crawling on the tile, in kitchens where cheap plastic fans count down from 9 again and again, everyone freezes at the same second and holds their breath, listening. Do not answer. Not out loud. If you must reply, write it on the nearest cold surface and close every door before you do. The heat loves an open mouth, and if the melody from the ice cream truck slides under your window tonight, if the pool water goes still when you walk by, if the AC in your wall asks you for a name, if your sunburn lifts like paper and reaches for the ceiling, remember, summer is not a season. It is a hunger. Drink water, stay inside. Don't speak to the fan. And if you hear it anyway, that soft voice through the hiss of Hitler, one that sounds exactly like yours, do not say, help me back.